Welcome to Loomio's advice process tutorial. I'm John. If you're here, you might empathize with this image. There's a number of reasons why you might even make the same face when you consider group decision making. But you're probably also aware that making decisions without involving others can turn out to be equally, if not more, expensive and stressful, and can cause resentment and disengagement amongst those who are not included. Today, I want to show you how to make decisions that receive more engagement, build team confidence and alignment, and, when done well, increase interpersonal trust and motivation, all while maintaining efficiency. The technique I'll teach you today is based on the idea of trusting those closest to the problem to own the decision and be responsible for their own work, while simultaneously taking advantage of input and expertise from across your organization. This way of decision-making improves accountability, leads to more motivation and better work from everyone in your group, and ultimately produces the clear outcomes your group needs now. While a lot of processes also address some of these obstacles, for example, consent, many teams prefer to use a technique like advice process, which is often modeled after the one popularized by reinventing organizations. So what is advice process? In one sentence, advice process means anybody can make a decision if they have all the advice they need to make a good decision for the business. This includes asking those impacted or with expertise. Let's do an example. Meet Sam. Sam's got a website for the new product their team developed. Now they want the marketing team to start to promote it. Here's how the advice process went for Sam. Sam asks for feedback from the marketing director and the products director. The marketing director advises that it's still the holidays across the pond. Sam is quick on their feet, working to resolve the concern and asking for more input. And then, confident that they got sufficient feedback and resolved the marketing director's tension by amending their intention, let's push it next week, not immediately, Sam publishes the website and schedules its promotion, alerting the marketing team of their responsibility. Sam then documents the decision and puts it somewhere the team can see it. So here's again the steps that Sam took that you just saw. They stated an intention, collected feedback, responded to concerns and any tensions, and made the decision and then communicated and recorded that adequately. You'll notice that Sam made a decision that calls for others to execute the work. To get all the benefits, decisions made by advice process need to be considered the decision of the team or organization. You don't have to make advice process available for every kind of decision, but encourage everyone to stand behind those you do. That said, it's important to note that decision makers are accountable for their decisions. Even if there are other people responsible for completing any tasks that are called for, in most cases, aligning power with accountability will get you better results. And a little tip here, one thing that we didn't see Sam do is explain the reason why they decided as they did. This is important for team learning and continuous improvement. So let's take a look at this on Loomio. How do we do it online? Start a new thread in your Loomio group. It's best if the title states your intention. Include necessary context, including why it's important, what specific feedback are you looking for, your timeline. We're going to use Loomio's facilitation tools to invite people to share advice within that given timeline. For the advice process, we're just going to use the proposal tool. We're going to exclude the block option. Again, advice process means you decide the final outcome, so I'll choose agree, abstain, and disagree here. I'll write a title so that when the people I'm asking for advice see this, they can agree or disagree and provide useful flags. I'll notify key people I want advice from. Reiterating the timeline and specifics might help. Loomio will send people a reminder 24 hours before it closes, so it's good to consider urgency and inclusion. How long will it take for people to participate? I'll start that thread. As with any facilitation tool in Loomio, you can notify everyone or just select people in your group. Everyone in your group will be able to see this page where they'll be able to share advice, any feedback, and indicate whether they think that you're ready to decide. It's still your call, of course. Because people can change their votes, you get a nice history and a clear signal of where people landed after thinking or talking about it with you or others. Let's say the Loomio proposal has now closed, the duration's over, and now it's time to share the outcome. What have you decided? Again, recording the decision is a great way to let people know what's going to happen next and who's responsible for what. I'll notify Mary and let others see this on their own time. As a little reminder, as a decision maker, I'm ultimately accountable for the outcome and the results. That's it on Loomio. Outcome achieved. So, sounds easy, right? Well, yes it is, and as with any new group process, there will be some challenges. Let's talk about a few common ones. Feedback is hard. I can think of plenty of times when I just wanted to keep moving forward on a project, when I knew it would be better to invite a colleague into conversation. Think to myself, what if addressing their comments slows down my progress? Or what if I need to start over? Do their comments mean my work isn't valuable? All of these hypothetical worries tend to keep us from reaching out for feedback about something, especially something that didn't go well. Feedback is critical to improving outcomes, though, and it doesn't have to be hard. There are frameworks that can make it easier, too, such as ASK. Feedback is better when it's actionable, specific, and kind. Receiving feedback can be hard, but it's easier if your team has practiced and if they've worked on the capacity to suspend judgment, setting aside personal opinions to examine suggestions or critiques from others while assuming positive intent, that the people giving feedback are trying to improve the effort. You might be starting to hear a common thread, and it's one of the most important points. Efficiency and effectiveness are directly related to the capacity for open, honest, and direct communication. Just a couple of other challenges I want to point out. Accountability. It can get left out. Decision makers may not become aware of any poor outcomes, losing the opportunity to learn or to fix significant issues. The buck has to stop somewhere. This makes feedback and systems for regular reflection even more critical. Communication can be hard, period. But advice process can actually be a step towards improving communications for your team. If your group is considering adopting advice process, that means you're somewhere on your journey towards being a more collaborative organization. Good on you. It can be of great value to pick up advice process early on in that journey and to practice it with maybe just specific kinds of decisions. Your organization may decide to try it out on one team or just for picking meeting dates to get started. So let's talk about your first experiment. I can give you a little bit of a checklist. So for that first advice process you run, you might want to check that the people who need to be involved or aware of it can answer the following. 1. How will we use advice process and when? What limitations might there be on it? What good could come from adopting this technique? Why should I participate or care or invest anything into this? How does this affect my work? And when will the decisions be reviewed? Transparency is important. This is a key attribute of organizations that use advice process well. Think about whether those who can make the decisions will be able to have the information they need. Transparency also supports another critical element, trust. Trust will elevate your advice process and really all of your decision making to the next level. The benefits compound when that trust is built on open and honest communication, I know, again, and the skills that support it. It's also best that it's built on a culture that is comfortable with healthy conflict. A space of psychological safety, some might call it brave space or safer space, and a shared purpose that everyone can name. It's better when we're going in generally the same direction. So, what are you waiting for? You can quickly make better decisions by using advice process. All it takes is a proposal, asking for feedback, making an informed decision, and sharing the outcome. You're already on your way to a more engaged team achieving faster, higher quality decisions. Sound good? Share this video. Chat with your group about it. Try it out and let us know how it goes. You can try it on Loomio for free today at loomio.org. Cheers and happy world changing to you and your groups.